Okay, so I'm looking at the front of the engine after already removing the air intake here. This is obviously an aftermarket air intake, but it should look similar. This is where that came off of, and I took that off because in order to get at the thermostat, we need to take this hose off, which is coming from the radiator area here. So when you take this off, there's a bolt here and a bolt down here on the bottom. It is a 1/2-inch bolt. When you take those out, what you're going to see is this piece right here. This is my old thermostat, and this just plugs in, basically sits in right like this. If I were to be able to stick it in right there, this orange or reddish orange part is the gasket against which this fitting right here pushes up against and seals. And you can see on here there's a bunch of junk. That all doesn't look like that on a new one. Same with here on the inside, on the sort of undercarriage area here. Also note when you take it off, here it is, this little gold, brass looking gold pin. It looks black here in this shot, but this right here is, let's make some more light there. It is a goldish color, and on mine, on my car, that was in the 12 o'clock position, 12 o'clock relative to the ground. So basically, this pin was straight up in the air, or straight, facing straight up. I don't really know what that does, but I'm guessing that the position of it is important based on some other videos I've watched. So this, I had to kind of pry this out with a flathead screwdriver. Just stuck it under this little part and sort of yanked on it a little bit, and it popped out. Then I simply stuck the new one in and reattached this. Worth noting, when you're taking this hose off, I had a major problem in that this clamp right here that's holding the hose onto this black fitting, there's a clamp on the underside here that you can barely see. That was right in front of where I needed to access the back bolt here. So before I put it back on, I grabbed it with a channel lock, undid it a little bit, and then twisted it to get these tabs out of the way, and it made putting that bolt back on way easier than it was to take off. So if you have that issue removing the bolt, I would definitely recommend doing that when you put the hose back on. So now that that's all there, I'm going to put the air intake back in, reattach all the hoses, put my air filter back on the air intake, and we should be ready to go. Oh, also, in taking this piece off, or taking this hose off, basically once this bolt got about 2 turns out, coolant started leaking all over the place. I probably, see if you can see it here, I lost, well, there's barely any light, but I probably leaked out a good half a gallon of coolant. So I've read some posts about trying to catch that and reuse it. I have no idea how you could possibly do that. It was just leaking out in a very messy manner. So if you could figure out how to catch it and reuse it, great. I just went up to the store and bought another gallon of coolant, and we'll be putting that back in when I'm all done here.